All right, let's have a talk. All right, real talk. All right, this is about the time that I was with somebody who thought that I was going to be hung up on them after it was done. Now, I know the first thing anybody would think is that's a lot of ego. That's a lot of ego, right? To go through a relationship with someone, for it to end, and that you were the cause of it ending, and then think that the person is going to hang on to you and I don't know, obsess over you and whatever else over you because it ended. Like that's somebody who like is full of themselves in a way that's not good. Because it's all right to be full of yourself, but to think that somebody is going to revolve themselves around you after you have broken the relationship, that's kind of egotistical. It's not kind of egotistical. It's egotistical. And if that's you, you need to get over yourself. Yes, in my case, I'm one of those people who I will show, who I am inside and outside a relationship. See, that's the only way to do it, in my opinion, because I'm practicing for marriage. So the things that I do, I know that it will result in marriage as well. So I'm faithful. Nobody's perfect. I had a couple slip ups, and that's just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And slip ups doesn't mean that I slipped and opened my legs and somebody fell in. No, slip up means something inappropriate happened. It shouldn't have. So, not perfect, but I know that I'm faithful. I know that I'm loyal. Friends can attest to that. Anybody that I've been with can attest to that. And I know that I'm not about games, even though I can roll with the best of them as far as playing them sometimes, but I'm not really a game player. See, what we do is everything is a practice. This whole life is a bunch of lessons. And what do we do when we're getting our lessons? We're practicing. We're practicing what we learn. We're practicing what we know. We're practicing how we're growing, what we're learning, all of that. We're practicing. So as we get these lessons, we keep practicing life. So that's what it is. And when it comes to relationships, you're practicing every day. So if you find yourself in a relationship, but you're practicing the things that are going to destroy it, such as cheating, such as lying, such as creating drama, guess what might happen when you actually get to the real setting? Cheating, lying, and drama. Because that's all you have practiced. And so when it comes to relationships that end, there's no need to hang on, obsess, and be compulsive about an ending. Yeah, there may have been wrongdoing, and in the case that I'm talking about, it definitely was wrongdoing. The man I was with, the man that I was dealing with, just showed a lot of weakness in some areas that were very important. Important to the relationship lasting, important to the relationship growing, important to the safety that I should feel in connection in a partnership, and left gaps and holes in a foundation that we were supposed to be creating. And so if I'm coming away from a structure that just didn't work, the foundation, you couldn't get the foundation right, then why would I keep going back to that? because that's where it ends, right? The building is not going to be built. We're not putting anything on this unfinished foundation. So why do you think that I'm going to go and keep on dwelling on this foundation that didn't work out? It cannot be anything of substance built on it. And so therefore, I gotta leave it there or just dig it up and start all over again, right? That's what people in construction do. If you can't get the foundation right, you start all over. Another set of blueprints, another set of materials, another set of everything. And you start back over. And we need to take that lesson in our lives, because there are some women out there that still focus on this broken foundation after a relationship has ended. And let me tell you, ladies, if that's you, I know there's emotion involved. I know you love this person. I know you felt a sense of attachment. You may have had a child with this person, and you may have even been with this person for years. And it just doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem right. If the relationship ended on terms that you didn't agree with, it's just all kind of wrong about it to you. But guess what? It's okay. Taking it back to the construction scenario, sometimes these buildings that become dilapidated, become worn down, become unusable, like a relationship that you may have come out of that just didn't work out. The person wasn't doing right by you, so, the building wasn't kept up, and then one problem after another, and then the building becomes unusable. So you may have had a strong foundation, but then as time went on, the structure built on top of it just went to putt. And so, just like in construction, it has to be demolished. And so you go ahead and you let that relationship go, as hard as it is. And it's not something that you can't relate to in material world, because we get attached to things. Just look at a man in his car. I laugh because some men, and y'all probably are those men or know a man like this, who take care of the car better than they take care of a woman that they may be dealing with. So people get attached to material things all the time. And just like that, it may take time to heal. Yes, it won't be overnight. You'll have upset feelings for a while. You'll go through your grief for a while, but it will be okay. There's no need to go back to a dilapidated building, one that's demolished actually, because if it's over, it's demolished. It's just a pile of bricks at this point. And so just keep that in mind, because there's nothing that you can do with that. But again, pull it up, get yourself a new plan, start over from scratch. And yes, it's easier said than done, but it's only easier said than done for me because I know that we all need to heal. Remember my equation, and I'm going to keep on saying this until y'all get it. For the time you've had the relationship, best case scenario is you take half that time to heal. That is the amount of time you need alone. Point blank and period. If it's a very long relationship, it's 1/3 of the total time you've been with that person. So a 10-year relationship deserves 3 years by yourself. And then that is true healing. That's just my opinion. Then you can go ahead and start all over, get your blueprint and Start building a foundation with someone else and see how this next construction is going to be for you. And that's all to it. Life is a journey. And when a relationship happens, it's about two people. And you cannot build a foundation and a structure with only one person. It's just impossible. And so there's no need to dwell. There's no need to go back and be compulsive or obsessive or anything like that, no matter what happened. Because when it's all said and done, the other half of this equation wasn't doing its part. And so it couldn't work and it couldn't bring you the happiness that you deserve. And so don't keep dwelling on it. And yes, I'm taking my own advice, and I do take my own advice. And so I wanted to title this, Get Your Closure Now, because I want to make this a part 2. Because what I've learned about closure, and this is something that people talk about a lot, where people come back into your life. My rule of thumb is, if it's been more than 6 months of a breakup, that relationship is done. And after that, there is no going back. In my opinion, when it comes to closure is simply about one of the two people in this relationship that had happened needing some kind of closure. Closure, when someone comes back, I should say, someone comes back into the picture, an ex-boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend, that's about closure. It's not about reigniting a relationship if it's been more than 6 months. It's about someone needing closure. That's my opinion, that's my experience. And it doesn't take getting back into a relationship to get closure. Closure is about a discussion. Closure is about things that were left unsaid. So it doesn't even need to be face to face even. You can get on phone, get online and text away, whatever. And say what you need to say. Let that person say what they need to say. And then that be it. And that's it. So it's no need. Get your closure now. And you don't even need permission from the other party to get your closure. If you want to get your closure now, I say go ahead and write out everything it is that you want to say. If it's as negative as it want to be, as hurt as it want to be, whatever you need to say it in a letter. Just write it out. Write it out. It's going to be tears. It might be anger. It might be all the grief that goes on. Anytime it actually comes up, write it all out. As truthful as you want to be, as raw as you want to be, as upset as you want to be. If you want to curse like a sailor, do that. Let it out. And then when you finish that letter, tear it up. Simple. That's how you get closure without that person being there. All right? And so for all you who are going through, you'll be all right. Just like I will be, and I have been before. It's about life and the experiences that we have. And yes, some of the experiences are so good, or have the potential to be so good, we don't want them to end. Or that person became such a part of our lives that we don't want our lives to change without that person. But you got to know that it's just about that foundation and that building structure. And the best foundation and the best structure you can make on a good foundation is one that's going to last. It's that building that you can visit in 100 years is still going to be standing. That's that relationship that your grands and your great-grands will talk about. And that's what we want. We don't want the structures that are dilapidated. or the foundations with holes in it, and then we're trying to build something on top of, which is not a good thing to do. And so, think about that. And that's all I'm really saying about breakups and closure and getting your closure now. For those who in their egos thinking that the other party is going to be compulsive, obsessive, or whatever, you've made your bed or whatever you've done to go on, whether it's to be by yourself, be with another person, or whatever the case is. And so go do that. And don't worry about the other party because, you made your choices. And so what's the saying? You make your bed and then you got to lay in it. That's how it is. And so get your closure now. Hold your head up if that's you on the other side of the hurt, and we'll get through it like we always do. All right, y'all, real talk. Just, keep it moving. It's going to be all right. All right, y'all, that's it for real talk this time. This is Nimbus Intuition. Hope everybody's well. Love and gratitude.